Hi, welcome back to my second video of the Techno Teacher. We're looking at Zoom today, but unlike the first video, this one is looking more at the settings. So the settings for Zoom are pretty cool, and so I encourage you, if you haven't already, go ahead and look at them and check them out. A lot of them are kind of intuitive, and so it pretty much is what it says it is. However, a few of them are not, or they're hard to find because there are quite a bit of settings. So I'm just going to do pretty much this video is just me looking through some of the settings and pointing out ones that I found to be cool, such as like the nonverbal feedback, or ones that you might find really useful, such as like the co-host and breakout rooms. So without further ado, let's go ahead and we're going to get started. So I'm already in the Zoom meeting, and some of these already have like if you're in a meeting and you want to change up the settings, like your audio, if you want to do your audio settings, same with video, those can be accessed there. But for other settings, if you go ahead, you can go to the Zoom app where it has this portion right here. So get out of here. You don't need to be here anymore. So if you're in the Zoom app, there's this button right here that's at the top of the home where it says settings. And so this, by app, I mean this is what you download that starts it. There is also an online that's a little bit more in depth, and I'm going to get to that in a moment. But from here, if you click on settings, it has pretty much your general settings. So if you want to personalize things, such as like the video or the audio, if you want to touch up my appearance, which is always a nice little feature that kind of goes over and smooths everything out. Virtual backgrounds, this is where you might be able to add different backgrounds if you want. Personalized chat. I would encourage you to read through these. They're pretty much personal to what you would like. However, I like to go to the more settings. If you click on a few more settings here, it takes you to the online account. So get rid of that. So here, if I've already logged in, but it might prompt you here now to like log in with Google or to put in your account information, so you would do that. And then if you have, here I'm going to bring it up a little bit, there. So now you have a little bit more if you go to settings, so under your profile. So if I'm looking at settings, there's a couple of different ones. You have your basic meeting, scheduling, advanced email notifications, and other stuff. And then you can also add in like telephone, like how people can call into the meeting, or how it looks when it's recording. There gives you the option if you want to record it to different platforms. And so those are just some options. Let's look at the meeting ones though. So from here, this is pretty basic. So if like you want to start with your video on, that would be added on here. Same with your audio or other how their video is. Join before host, I would recommend that, especially in waiting room. Your personal meeting ID, which basically is how every Zoom account has their own phone number, essentially, that gets onto it. Passwords, I'm scrolling past. Authenticated users, basically, if you work in a school system and you only want school emails, being able to get onto that, which you can do, but then you get rid of anyone who's joining from like a parent's account or them. Passwords, built-in passwords. You can see your administrator might have already changed these. Embedding the password in the invite, that's really nice. If you're sharing by link, make sure that that is one. Chat, private chat, this is what I was talking about with where they can message one each other. I have that off because there's no reason why I have them needing to message each other one-on-one. If you want to save it, feedback, which basically lets you give feedback. Co-host, so this one's between display end of meeting, experience feedback survey, and always show meeting control bar. Now, for some people, it just doesn't show up. I don't know why, but if it does show up, it would be right here. So it's in between these two. Screen sharing, this is where you can say if you want your participants to show what's on their screen. You can change this while you're in a meeting, and I'll go over that in a moment. Let's say you don't want them to. Annotations, which if you're ever drawing on that, you'd want. Whiteboard, which I showed on my last one. Remote control, again, I kind of showed that last time where that's where you give the other person control. Nonverbal feedback is the one that's the one that says like yes, no, go faster, go slower. It's right by the hand raising one. So that's one I would recommend if you're interested in that. If not, then you don't have to. allow removed participants to join. This basically says that if someone was in your meeting and you kick them out, whether it be someone you don't know or maybe just a student who you don't, you're done with the meeting and you want to talk with other students, then this basically says that they can't come back in once the meeting has started if they've been removed. So you can toggle that all you want, whether or not you want it on or you don't want it on. There also is some more options, breakout rooms. And so this is where you would go ahead and you would add in, like, if you want to have breakout rooms, that is an option. If you don't have this turned on, it won't be there. There's an option where you can do that if you want the host to assign them while they're going one-on-one support. If you have one-on-one support open, you will not have the breakout rooms. So choose whichever one of those you'd like. Virtual background, this is where you can decide whether or not you want participants to be able to use virtual backgrounds in your Zoom. So if you don't want that, then it might be usually for the best to just kind of turn that off. And it does save as you go. And so that's a couple of the major features. Waiting room, highly recommend having that one on. This is for recording. You can live stream as you go. Don't recommend really that. But yeah, those are pretty much the basic ones. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. And I hope you guys enjoy using Zoom.